Okay, in this video, I'm going to find the domain of the function x plus 4 over x squared minus 9. All right, so you should always consider the fact that whenever you want to find the domain of any function, you should look for the inputs, usually the x values, that can cause problems, if that makes sense. So, for example, um, if you look at this function, right? Um, what sort of problems can we have when we have a fraction? So when we have a fraction in this form, probably the only thing that should come to your mind is that when the denominator is zero, because that's a big problem and we never want that, right? So now we should use that fact in order to answer this question, because when we want to find the domain, that just means that all the possible x values, all the possible inputs. So in this case, the only thing that can cause problem is when the fraction is zero, sorry, when the denominator is zero. And now we should basically find what are those x values that make the denominator zero so that we can exclude them from all the input values. So always you can start by solving a very simple equation, which is trying to see what are the x values that make your denominator zero. Now this is a very simple equation, obviously, because you're going to have plus or minus 3. So these are the two values that if you have and you substitute that into this function, then there are going to be some problems, and you don't want that because that makes the denominator zero. But other than these two values, we can give any x value that you want to this function, and we are not going to have any problems. So now if we want to say what is the domain of this function, that is simply equal to all the real numbers except or let's just use this symbol, minus 3 and positive 3. So this is the domain of this function. Basically, this means that for those of you who may not be familiar with the set notation, basically this means that all the real numbers except minus 3 and positive 3. So yeah, any other numbers that you want, you can just substitute into this function and that's going to work. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. This was a very short one, but make sure to like and subscribe to my channel and like the video so you will be able to see my future videos. Good luck.